Hello, it is I, Marcus. I am possibly going to be, referring to myself as Little Buddha of Wisdom, mainly due to uh, the idea of me being a very wise individual, and I tend to be one at times. I wish to discuss this virus, this dis-ease, and the idea of Plato's cave. Plato's cave is a story about how lights from the outside of the cave that came in made the people who had lived there for so long that they've mistaken their shadows for the monsters of the outside world. And the very insight into that is that I grew up mainly watching my dad. I loved my dad when I was little, still love my dad. And he had a mustache and a beard, and I always wanted to grow up to be strong and have a mustache and have a beard. So I ended up subscribing to a life that's stressful, a life that's hard, and a life that is less than what I expected when I was expecting something. The magic only ever came when I stopped expecting things. And just like the cave, when I was able to venture out and actually truly see the light for what it really was, and no longer just see the shadows and take them as is, I began to truly understand what it was that was actually going on. And this usually is a potential start for most people who have come here that always felt something as a kid, and that always stuck with them, resonated with them as a kid. Because you were much more readily available to play the role when you were a kid than you are as an adult. Because as an adult, you lose your way. And then, as an adult, you continue to find who it is that you truly want to be, and you come back to the way you were. Sometimes this is after being drugged into a vegetable state, or just reaching the age where you just stop caring what other people think and only do what you want to do. Yet, all these are misconceptions that it's time. It's time that makes you this, that gets you there, that makes you invulnerable to other people's judgments. Yet, it's not time. Because the time is now. The place is here. And if you truly want to know what that means, then consider the following. If you've ever been in a moment where you're like, wow, you know, that one time at school, I wonder what I'm going to have for. You know what? I think I will quit my job. Did you hear that? I think there's a boogeyman. Man, that person made me feel so... If you resonated with any of those things I just said, where are you? Where were you? How long did it take you to come back to being you again? Being here. Being now. Yeah, where did that thought come from? Where did those thoughts come from? They come from the mind. A very basic thing that you can train with meditation. that you can train with patience and dedication. Anyone can do it. There's plenty of meditation videos out there, and I was actually planning on doing my entrepreneurial beginnings in meditation to actually teach people this. I mean, there's so many videos out there. I think it's just a lot easier to kind of go over misconceptions and debunk them. Like the idea that your mind is your brain. It's not. It's not. Mainly because your brain is processing material. And it's also not your subconscious either. Your subconscious will give you information, but your mind has a way of tainting it, of twisting it, to make you worry about something. To make it a problem that you have yet to solve. That there's no progression in your ability to solve these problems. Because they're either in the past where you can't fix it, it's already done, and you have to live with it completely, because going back means nothing to you, and it's impossible. So what did it teach you? And just like going towards the future, what future? Last time I checked, the only time I travel to the future is when I fall asleep. Even possibly when I blink. Or actually, this is a good one, when I make a video. I think this is the only time I can actually see the past for what it was, rather than change it. But then technically I can see the past from the future. But it's not the future, is it? It's just the now. It's the eternity that we live in. That we can't change anything except what's right in front of us at the moment. Unless we talk ourselves out of it, or believe we can't do anything about it. That's where this quarantine and the cave come in. I've seen different people and how they've handled this quarantine. And I can tell you that the belief in social creatures being what humanity is just part and parcel what we are. We're more than that. We've always been more than just this one specific being. This is Marcus talking to, well, his phone, but to the world when it comes to where I am versus where you are. I am here. I am right now. Even though there's a timer that tells me exactly how long I was going, I'm here right now. Nowhere else. This is actually really where I love to be. Just talking to people. Like, to live as a soundboard would be awesome. Like, to make a living out of being a soundboard. Though I would also like to do a proposition in this video, where if you leave a comment down below, or you subscribe, which would be really cool. Love you forever and eternally. If this content resonates with you and you really want to know who you are, then I'm qualified to take you on this journey. I'm qualified. Because the universe validates this with everything I've ever learned about myself, about the world. All it takes is doing. So I'm ready to do. And if you can find my email somewhere, you can always shoot me an email. I am putting together a list to send out some free content of what I'm going to be doing moving forward. Whether it be writing books, or even writing stories. Literally anything I can do right now. Because I have the time. But what is time? It's now. It's here. Everything I need is here. Everything I require is here. Everything I can do is now. Here. And that's alright. And this all does feed back into the cage. Are you a victim of your mind? Of the disease? Dis-ease? Are you infected? It's all about perspective. And I miss sharing my perspective. But truly, if you want to follow my content, it will be more about dispelling illusions than it is about feeding into them. There's no such thing as a good or a bad thing. No such thing as good luck or bad luck. It all just is. And it's all there to teach you something. Like, I've had to do this video like 5 times now. That's no real issue. I just needed to talk to myself for a while. I'm still talking to myself. And now I'm talking to you, because this is the one that's actually going to make it. So it's a blessing. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll answer them promptly. If you do like it, please leave a like. Share it if you have people you know that are trapped right now and could use some words to guide them in a direction that is better than where they're headed. Because now is not the time to give up. Now is the time for now, for action, for commitment. So commit to something. If you commit your time to me, I will help you out. I stand by the cave entrance. I know the world is very bright, and I know the cave is very dark. In service to others, you are in service to yourself, and vice versa. So I wish to extend this to everybody who watches this video, and to those who share, thank you. And to those who comment, thank you too. And for those who just watch, be safe on your journey.